Hi there. I live on the third floor of an apartment building, and they have a rule against using open flames here, so grilling is out of the question here. That means we get to do the next best thing. Tonight's project was simple but very tasty, an attempt to mix together my own barbecue sauce and make barbecue chicken in the oven. I certainly like how this turned out, and adding cast iron to the mix made this a step above just using a baking sheet. Of course, you can use your own favorite barbecue sauce with this, and the results should certainly be as good as this, or even better. This barbecue sauce is very easy to put together using brown sugar and molasses. Remember that when pouring molasses, be sure to grease the cup with a little bit of olive oil. This will make it much easier to pour the molasses so you won't have to scrape it out. We then add some tomato paste, apple cider vinegar, and Worcestershire sauce, and we mix them together for a basic base for our sauce. Now we add our spices, including kosher salt and black pepper, along with some dry mustard, garlic powder, or minced garlic if you prefer, smoked paprika, and cayenne pepper to give it some bite. The secret ingredient here is ground cloves for just a touch of savory sweetness. We mix it together, and the sauce is ready to be used. Now we can begin preparing the chicken. You can buy your chicken pieces at the supermarket, but these leg quarters were 39 cents a pound, and I certainly didn't want to pass up on that. It's very easy to cut them and separate the drumsticks and the thighs with a lot of extra pieces left over. We stir in some salt and pepper, then we add about half of the sauce. Now we can marinate the chicken before baking it. And now it's time to bring out a vintage cast iron pan. Because we're using cast iron, we can place the pan into the oven and heat up the oven and the pan at the same time. While the oven is heating, we can also heat up our sauce until it's smoking and bubbling to intensify the flavor. Once the oven is ready, we place the hot cast iron pan onto the stovetop and we start searing the chicken. This adds some extra flavor, and it's something you simply can't do with a cheap aluminum baking sheet. And it's a great reason for using cast iron when making barbecue chicken. We flip the chicken and sear both sides. And it's ready to go into the oven and bake for 20 minutes. This chicken looks good enough to eat already. Now we can turn the chicken over, and then we coat the top side of the chicken with our sauce. Once the chicken is coated, we bake it for another 15 minutes. And here we remove the chicken from the pan so we can drain off the extra liquid. This will keep the chicken from being too soggy after we bake it. Once the liquid has been removed, we return the chicken to the pan and coat the other side with the sauce. Be generous here, and be sure to use as much of the sauce as possible. Now we can bake our chicken for the final 10 minutes. And now our barbecue chicken is done, ready to be served hot out of the oven. This chicken was thoroughly cooked, no doubt about that. The sauce is definitely not your typical hot sauce. You might say it has a sweet heat to it, in that there's definitely a bite you'll feel when you're eating this. But it doesn't drown out the taste of the chicken or the coating. And searing it in a cast iron pan gives it that little bit of char that you simply can't get with a regular oven baking dish. This was definitely worth the effort, and I'm pleased with how this turned out. If you feel like giving this barbecue sauce a try, the recipe is on my website, or you can simply use your favorite barbecue sauce and get results easily as good as this, if not even better. I hope you've enjoyed this, and as always, thank you for watching. By the way, this cast iron pan was very easy to clean up using hot water and elbow grease.